episode than the crab. All right.
All right.
And when I think about who we have in the studio room today, a young brother. I think he's 34. Am I right, Andre? How old?
Aldric.
I'm 40. 40 years old.
Well, I see. I try to subtract.
Probably after like 15 years, you ain't got nobody name right yet.
I feel 34, but I'm 40.
No, but in your thinking, it's new. In fact, your thinking, your spirit. How old is your spirit? I mean, because like I read part of your bio, and in your bio, I understood that you found yourself when you was working.
Correct.
Right. So when you find yourself and you start on this new path, that's when I believe that a person's spirit is born, because you're born again.
Okay.
All right. And first off, give me the correct pronunciation of your name.
No problem. The correct pronunciation of my name is Aldric Marshall.
Okay.
Aldric.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Aldric.
Brother Carl, coming from a domestic violence background, I used to see my mother and father fighting, biological father fighting all the time. And I could no longer blame my father for where I was at. And what I mean by that was growing up in my early years, I was deemed a slow learner in elementary school, all the way through junior high, middle school, and even into high school. And I couldn't read. I really couldn't read. I faked it a whole lot. I was transparent. I was a chameleon, shall I say. When the teachers called me to go to the board to read, I would cut up and get kicked out of class because I didn't want my secret to be exposed. And I see so much of that going on right now. And I heard Janice, she was reading the article, and a lot of those figures are coming from our third grade. They actually are putting our building our prisons off in our third grade. So when you look at the FCAT and the different tests that they have for our children to succeed in or to pass, they getting those numbers from a lot of these tests. And I was one that took the test back then when I was younger, but it wasn't called FCAT. And it wasn't a test to hold you back. It was a test to keep you to know where you were.
SAT.
It was actually it was a comprehensive test. The SAT is for college, but it was a comprehensive test to know where you were at in your grading and so forth. And now the system is designed now to really, I'll be honest with you, the system is now designed to put a label or a stigma on you if you are unable to pass the test. And you know as well as I know, I'm not a great test taker like you or Janice. Am I saying Janisha?
I haven't heard it all, so we just rolling. Go ahead.
We just gonna roll with it, huh? And this gentleman here, he may be a better test taker, but what I do know is, everybody is afraid of something, and I was afraid of my fear. I was afraid of my secret to be exposed, and I've challenged that into a book that's called Success Behind the Scars, where every adversity, every circumstance, every setback, and every mental and physical pain carries an opportunity for advancement when you place it in proper perspective.
Okay.
And the scars that I went through was being the shortest one in school, was unable to read, used to see my mom and biological dad fighting all the time. And Tyler Perry said it best: stop blaming everybody else. Stop blaming everybody else. And I had to stop blaming everybody else and come to recognize that I could not read, and I had to reach out and get help.
And the reason why I found what you're doing is so intriguing to me is because you shine a pathway to a lot of my young brothers that I know that are trapped in that very same situation. Many of them possibly are listening right now because we do broadcast to several different penal institutions. And while they're in these kind of positions, I know that these law enforcement agencies are not really interested in rehabilitation. And I know that it's incumbent upon our family to now, at this critical time, to start designing some different ways by which our family can get straight. And then all of them, I ain't going to say in prison. Right. Because we got a lot of our young brothers that are trapped on the corner. They want to do something different, but they don't. They got fear in them. And they're already making a little money to take care of a few bills and stuff. So
and that's not even all of them, Carl. Some are standing on the corner to fit in with those who
absolutely
making that money.
Right.
All of them don't have none in their pocket.
Right.
Because I've heard some say, man, why you holding up the block?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they're just looking like those that some of us we know.
So
you know?
when I seen what your book was talking about, the scars, I know inside of our community, when we look at our community, we know it's scarred. And we're trying to repair it. And I always look at it like the cocoa butter. You know what I mean? Because we want to remove the scar, and plus we want to remove all of the ugliness.
All the indication.
Right. And when we have pathways, like what you described in your book, the name of your book is?
Success Behind the Scars.
What motivated you to come up with that?
Well, going to different schools and so forth, I would always see children in the classrooms just like me. And before I wrote the book, I was speaking at different schools and so forth, and I would see these children cutting up, and I would pull them to the side, and as I was speaking with them, I would find out that they was having domestic problems at home. They couldn't read, and they were just like me. They was afraid of their secret being exposed. And by me graduating a 2.0 GPA, going to the Air Force, being kicked out of the Air Force, coming back home, working in a dirty scrap yard, it was about 5 miles. Actually, it was about maybe 2 football fields long. And I found my love for reading right there when I picked up a book, and it was John C. Maxwell's book. It was called The Success Journey. And I struggled to read it a little bit, but I read it from its entirety, from the cover to the end. And what I found out was, if I wanted to be in South Africa, only thing I had to do is pick up a book and be in South Africa. If I wanted to be in the Mahara Desert, I can pick up a book. And I started reaching out because I did not know that there were so many people there, even in school, that was there really trying to help me. And what happened was, a light clicked on one day in my head and said, I have so many people out here that wants to help me, but I'm actually pushing them or propelling them away, like that old magnet. If you turn the magnet over, it'll propel away. And then if I speed it up a little bit, I saw where Lawrence Fishburne in, what was that movie, Akeelah and the Bee, where Lawrence Fishburne told Akeelah, he said, you have over 5,000 people here to help you. And I'm telling you, Radio Land, you have over 5,000 people here to help you if you reach out and just open your hand. You can't get nothing in with your hand closed. That's right. And I know that there's a lot of people just like I was. When I graduated with a 2.0 GPA and got kicked out of the Air Force, it was getting kicked out of the Air Force because I failed the qualifying test. And it was I tell you, it was a sad day. It really was, because on my dream sheet I put down I wanted to go to the Philippines, I wanted to be in Japan, I wanted to be in all these different places I never read about. But then I came back home because they kicked me out, and I just really hammered down, buckled down, and I ended up going to college, Brother Carl.
Well, you know how many of our brothers are follow that same pathway.
Absolutely.
And I'm even watching on the news how now supposedly, because of the economy and everything, how everyone is signing up for the military. But we know that they're not going to all make that trip, because it's a different trip once you sign up. You know what I mean? But just listening to you, it with hopes that others that are just gave up.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? They could take another look. You know what I mean? That's the reason why I wanted to bring you.
And I just want to say, sometimes when that happens, and we're still within the interview, so I don't know where you've actually gone since coming out of the military, but sometimes God, He ain't gonna even have it that easy for us.
No.
When we have something that we want to do, and He's ordained and is gonna allow us to do, He don't want us to take that easy route, because there are some things that we need to share with people. So I would imagine that you're not getting there through the military. There's another route for you, and maybe you wouldn't have written this book, and then come on with it.
Some crowns of thorns, right? Some piercing in the side, and some nails.
Let me tell you something. Growing up all my life, I had a lot of teachers, family, friends, family telling me I would never be anything. I would never amount to anything. But if I took their comments and I placed them in me, then I wouldn't be here. And I always tell people, somebody's comment about you does not have to be your reality.
That's right.
And if you take that comment and you take ownership of it, then you're doomed to fail. You are doomed to fail, because people are very jealous of what you're trying to do, and a lot of our fight, we have a lot of fight when we're kids. I like to say we have a pit bull inside of us, you know, and when you're as a kid, even in the book I talk about it, when you're a kid, there's nothing that you couldn't do. From being super